Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Welcome to a very special first episode of fucking Smoking with Kai. I don't know what the fuck you're gonna call this. I'm just gonna keep it short, sweet, and simple. My name is Kai. I'm smoking right now. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, today is a very special day. Today is a fucking holiday, a federal recognized holiday. I'm not sure if any of you workers out there are getting off of work. I know if you're working at CVS, Family Dollar, you're not getting off of work for this holiday. It's not like Christmas or anything like that. But basically, it is Dr. King's Day. You already know what that's about. I don't need to tell you any more than you already know. But I do have a very special holiday themed joke for you coming up in 3, 2. For those of you who don't know, Dr. King's last campaign was the Poor People's Campaign. You should know this by now, but just in case you don't, the Poor People's Campaign was basically Dr. King rousing up all the sanitation workers, all the blue collar people, just demanding more money for the shit that they do because it's necessary, right? Like, you cannot have a society without fucking trash men. It just won't work. There's gonna be shit everywhere in the streets. You're gonna get diseases, malaria. I'm talking about real diseases, not COVID. But anyway, that was King's last campaign. Bam, bam, they shot him dead. You know how that story goes. Basically, the joke is this: I am a poor person, and right now I am giving it back to the culture by engaging in activities and what poor people would do. Technically, if poor people were, the type of people that were recognized by society as something of value, this will be called a cultural custom, a cultural norm. It's a culture thing. So I'm just giving it back to the culture right now. And I am a poor person, and this is my campaign. Bam, back to you, Alex. A lot of you in TV land who will be watching this in the future might get a little offended at this joke, but at the same time, I am keeping it real, super real right now, 24/7. That's how I do. My name is Kai, in case you didn't know. A little context to the joke that I just spit at you real quick. So I was at CVS like maybe 10-15 minutes ago. I was trying to get some cash back for some stuff that I need to do. It's none of your business. It's personal. So, I'm at the register and I'm talking to the dude and I'm getting cash back, right? And the joke just came to me like it was organic in its nature. It just came to me like an epiphany. So I'm like thinking, all right, I gotta tell this joke to this dude, right? So I'm standing there and the dude's standing there. And so to start off the joke, at first, in order for this joke to work, you gotta drop some knowledge. So I was just like, yo, happy King's Day. Did you know that Dr. King's last campaign was the blah, blah, blah? And then, I interjected the Poor People's Campaign into that. And then I finished the joke, the punchline being, I bought a wrapping. Here's some more context to the context. What I purchased was a tube of wrapping paper priced at 39 cents before tax. And so the whole joke is I am a poor person and this is my campaign. Basically, my campaign at the time was buying that wrapping paper so I could get cash back so I can afford this motherfucking bus ride that I'm probably gonna have to go on tomorrow or the day after, depending on how I'm feeling at the time, because you know how I roll. Currently, my Poor People's Campaign is, making this joke, doing the video work. I'm gonna have to do some editing, later on. But basically, that's like 2 for 1 joke. It's a double header, and I'm giving it to you, 2 for the price of 1, basically. Anyway, that is the context. Unfortunately, we live in America, just throwing out some more rhymes at you. Unfortunately, we live in America, and certain people's cultural customs and norms can't be fully practiced in the open without certain demographics, going to jail or whatever, even though it's totally nonviolent and you're totally not bothering anybody. But the situation, as I was told, because I wasn't alive, back then I can only go by what was told to me, what I read in books, what I see in documentaries. So what I was told, I believe back in like the 70s or something like that, there was this president named R. Ronald Reagan. He used to be an actor, and then he became a president. And then he passed this thing called the War on Drugs, which pretty much made a lot of things that black and brown people do back at that time, which was a cultural custom. They made that illegal. So Mary Jane being one of these things, they scheduled that as a Schedule 1 drug, which, if you guys know your stuff, my sweet lady MJ is not a Schedule 1 drug. She is just a sweet little plant that never really hurt anybody. I don't know why people give her such a bad name. But anyway, I believe Ronald Reagan and his war on drugs wanted to do this so that they can put certain people in jail and collect that tax revenue, so to speak. So that's a little history on that. This would not be the first time, however, that America would make someone's cultural customs illegal and punishable by, jail time or whatever. Slavery, if you will, neo-slavery. On the other side of the coin, some other people that I'm related to, me specifically, the Muskogees, but this happened all across the board. It happened with the Sioux, it happened with the Blackfeet, it happened with the Cheyenne, the Cherokee, Kiowa, Chippewa. The list goes on and on and on, like the break of dawn. But anyway, these people also had cultural customs that the United States government at the time deemed illegal for whatever reason, even though they were totally nonviolent and not really fucking with anyone else. But the government was like, no, you can't do these things. You cannot practice your culture. This is illegal, and now you're going to have to die or blah, blah, blah. So those are some other people who've also been persecuted throughout history simply by practicing a nonviolent cultural custom. Can you believe that, America? Anyway, I thought I'd just share these jokes to you because I have to go in really quickly. Wrestling is about to come on. It's almost 8 o'clock. I get down on Mondays with my Monday Night Raw. I know, it's what I do on Mondays. But I thought I'd share these jokes in my downtime while I have the time. I'm not sure if you guys in TV land in the future can hear the ambiance that is around me. But it is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't even know the lyrics, even though the lyrics are being projected to me right now. But whoever is jamming right now, they're jamming, they're doing their thing. This sort of thing happens all the time in this area. If you've ever frequented this area, people like to get their jam on, and that's okay. Because music, to my knowledge, is not illegal. Not yet, at least. So, also, same time of day, I was at the CVS, right? This is before I made my purchase. This is me trying to figure out a purchase to make in order to get that cash back, right? So I'm in the clearance aisle because that's how I roll, man. I'm a cheap bastard, what can you say? I, take pride in that. So anyway, I'm in the clearance aisle doing what I do. And I'm looking at the wrapping paper tubes, and all of a sudden, this lady, she comes up and she reaches like directly in front of me. I think she's trying to get something, I don't really know, because I'm trying to do my thing. But like, I'm also thinking, is there a reason for this occurrence right now? Like, internally, I was trying to figure out, is this lady trying to be like super annoying for no reason? Or is there something more? Because, when you live the type of lifestyle that I live, you're used to people being, or at least attempting to be super annoying for no reason, just to try to get your gears turning or whatever. So I just chalked it up that this lady was trying to be super annoying for some reason. I couldn't figure out why exactly. At first, I just thought she was an asshole customer, right? And so I'm like, oh man, are you a customer? And she's like, oh no, I work here. And I was like, oh my bad, I wasn't sure. Taking a closer look, I noticed that she had on a light blue gown, scrubs, if you will. TLC once made a song titled No, I Don't Want No Scrubs. A scrub is a pronoun that can't get any love from me. Hanging in the passenger side of your best friend's ride trying to holler at me. That was what TLC said. I didn't say that. I am just reciting some lyrics. That song is pretty funny to me, TLC No Scrubs, because I sort of have this thing against doctors and nurses. I kind of like have a vitriol, if you will, a disdain for doctors and nurses. I'm not trying to like gas up or anything, and if you are a doctor or a nurse, like hearing this or looking at this, bro, I mean no disrespect, when I come into your office, please do not like inject me with any chemical X or anything like that. I don't mean it like that. These are just jokes, so don't take this too far. But what I'm saying is my history with doctors and nurses are not so good. Doctors for the most part have been cool. The nurses, however, not so cool. But I'm not even sure if these are real nurses. These are mostly like the CNA type of people that I'm talking about. Like, you know, those people that get the certification. In my experience, they're not really in it for the care, the TLC, the tender loving care. They're usually just in it for the money. So they usually end up treating their patients like crap just because they know they can get away with it and they don't really care. They just want that paycheck. So that is why, if you're a good nurse, then, you know, I got no issues or anything. But I'm just saying, for those types of people who are only in it for the money, come on. You already know what it is. And that is the conclusion of this joke. Ladies and gentlemen, this is about done, as you can see. I had a lot of fun rocking with you. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of fun rocking with you guys in the future. So until then, stay tuned. Same Coyote channel, same Coyote Network.